If your business uses Google search advertising, I've got a quick tip here that's going to help to improve the performance of your marketing and also improve your understanding of what is working for your business and what isn't. So that tip is to look to split out your branded and possibly even competitor term activity into their own campaigns and separate it from your generic or general non-branded activity. So for example, if you've got the brand name Acme and you're selling golf clubs, what's probably happening is you've got a campaign set up that's targeted to people searching golf clubs and buy golf clubs and those kind of searches. And then what might be happening is that people are typing in searches like buy Acme golf clubs or Acme golf clubs discount or anything like that, and your ads are actually running, your ads that you think are just targeting people looking for golf clubs in general, they're actually showing up for people looking for your brand name product. Now this isn't inherently a bad thing from the perspective of capturing those searches and getting them to your site, but what happens is when you have your branded activity rolled into the same campaign as your non-branded activity, that actually distorts the performance of your campaigns, because what will tend to happen is your branded searches, so your branded ads, really outperform the non-branded ones. So someone searching specifically for Acme Co golf clubs is going to perform better in terms of click-through rate and lower cost per click and conversion rate than someone just looking for a generic product, so just typing in golf clubs for sale, and there's all sorts of different brands and companies they might buy from. Basically someone who's looking for your business by name or your product by name, they are far more likely to come and buy from you and interact more positively with your advertising. Now when that's rolled into the same campaign as your non-branded activity, so your generic terms that are not targeted at your brand name or product name, what that basically means is that it becomes a little bit harder to determine what is working, because most people, at least in my experience, most business owners who are running their own Google ads, they just look at performance at that sort of top line level. So they'll go and look at the campaign or the ad group and they'll go, hey, that looks pretty solid, you know, we're getting a good click-through rate and the cost per click's reasonable and we're getting some conversions. But actually when you dive in and look at the search terms report, for example, it's not uncommon in my experience to find that 50, 60, 70% of the conversions can be driven off branded activity, and you might not have been aware of that, and that branded activity might only represent 10-20% of the volume, but it could be generating 70, 80, 90% of the actual performance. It doesn't always work like that, but I've seen this play out many times before, and some pretty extreme examples. I remember working with one business where about 10% of their ad spend was going on branded terms, but it was generating about 90% of all of the conversions that were coming through. So all of the revenue this business was driving was pretty much driven off branded activity. Now, that's why you want to look to split things out. So if you are doing Google ads for your business, have all of your brand related terms in their own campaign, have your generic or non-brand specific terms in their own campaign, and then if you are looking at targeting competitors as well, have that in a separate campaign once again. So kind of roped off into three distinct elements: brand name, generic or non-branded, and then competitors. Competitors, the opposite applies. You tend to pay more per click, the click-through rate tends to be lower, the performance is generally worse. And so once again, you don't want to influence your understanding of performance, just influencing it the wrong way in this context. So it might actually be making your performance look worse than it is. It's very common, once again, to go into Google Ads and review an account and see a scenario where actually a lot of the search activity is targeted around competitor name brands or products, and they're underperforming the sort of benchmark if you strip that out. And by putting that in its own campaign, you can either say, hey, I don't want to target this anymore, it's not worth trying to compete for competitive business at this point in time, or actually, I still want to do this, I just want to have a better understanding of how it's performing. So yeah, if you're stuck with this concept, do let me know. I'm more than happy to give you some advice on how you can do it, but certainly splitting your branded activity into its own campaign and competitor activity, if you want to go down that path, splitting them into different campaigns from your non-branded search activity on Google Ads is a good thing in my opinion. It makes understanding the performance of your campaign so much easier. It also allows you to see what role that branded search is actually playing and whether you're actually better off focusing on trying to boost your brand awareness and sort of brand demand through actual advertising rather than just relying on search. It's just going to give you a more honest picture of your performance and should hopefully help to improve your results. So yeah, if you've got any questions, do let me know. If you need tailored advice for your own business, feel free to get in touch with me. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.